Hello and welcome to this demo video on drawing tangled up pose. We start with a sphere or a circle, and the horizontal is at the equator region marks the eyebrow, and then we establish the tilt of the head by that vertical line. After drawing a little bit of the neck, all this is very sketchy and exploratory at this phase. I'm not going for any details. I establish the tilt of the shoulders. As you can see, the right shoulder is placed too high at this point, and I'll be correcting it shortly. You can draw diagonals from anywhere or verticals or whatever, or compare the shoulder levels with the level of the chin to sort of establish their location in the space. So now that I have lowered that shoulder, it's more in keeping with the reference, and then just breaking the torso up into parts, the rib cage, the waist, and the hip, until I reach the base of the pelvis. Now I drop that vertical from the nose to locate the position of the left elbow, and I also located the position of the right elbow by drawing a horizontal. It's too quick, it's moving a little faster than real time because of dropped frames during the recording, to sort of reduce the video file size, but I hope you can see what's going on. So I'm basically going from the largest shapes, and I'll be moving on to the details later on. Here I have established the seat or the base of the pelvis, or the rung of the ladder on which she is sitting. Here a diagonal was drawn to sort of locate the end of the leg or the foot. This right foot is rather interesting. You can see how it's twisted outwards at the ankle. Again, I drew a horizontal to locate the heel of the left foot. The foot is a little larger than what it should be in the reference because of photographic or lens distortions. So as you can see, the figure is more or less in place. It took me about 5 minutes, because it's a little, maybe 4 minutes. It's a little faster than how it is in real time. Here I'm going for capturing the expression, the basic expression of the hands. I drew the bottom hand first as it wraps around the knee, and then on top of that I drew the left hand. So the drawing is basically, the shape of the drawing is basically complete. There is a great fun in drawing in this way. I mean, it's not as accurate as you'd get by drawing from, say, a grid marking, or from tracing the subject. Some artists do that, and I have no quarrels with them, but I enjoy doing it this way. There are two elements to it: interpretation and expression, and the fun is in both of these. You interpret what you're seeing, analyze it mentally, and then you express it to the best of your interpretation, and as a result you get this very human expression, which is not like a machine-like representation of, or a mere reporting of what you're seeing, but what you are understanding. So all this time I was working on the figure on little details that I see that I need to be corrected or developed upon. Mm, I This is not a portrait demo, so I won't be going for a likeness of her face, but I do want to get a minimal likeness of the expression, her this beautiful soft smiling expression. So that's what I'm going for. I will be developing this further at the end of this video, but for now I'm just establishing the various facial features. So basically the face is divided into three thirds: from the hairline, imagined hairline, to the eyebrow ridge, from there onto the bottom of the nose, and from the bottom of the nose to the bottom of the chin. And you then look at the mouth and the eyes in reference to these basic three divisions. The neck is rather interesting, and I'll be further, as I said earlier, I'll be further developing it at the end of this video. But for now, I just want to lift the face from the neck, the plane of the neck, so that the neck is receded into the background and the face is made more prominent. So I'll be applying an even tone to the neck to sort of push it a little back. That's all I'll be doing at this moment. Shows a different tool. That's it. This pushes the face up. No further details are added at this moment. Adding some tone to the skin. Some very basic tonality. I made a mistake in the left shoulder area, which I did not observe or find out until much later, but I'll be addressing it towards the end of this video, and I'll tell you what mistake I did. So as I said in the beginning, that I'm not going for an exact likeness because the time is too short. The longer I take to draw this, the file size grows, and my upload speed is really abysmal. So it would take me a long while to upload this video, so I'm trying to keep it down. Also, I'm trying to reduce the total video time so as to spare you. So here I'm expressing the basic pose of the hands. You need not draw those fingers, even individual fingers, even though I did it, because these are inconsequential in a drawing of this nature. This is sketch drawing where you are depicting the attitude of the pose. So fingers need not be there unless you're going into greater details. You can just draw the hand shape and leave it like that. Later on, if you have time, then you go for the finger. So if you notice that that left foot, you have drawn that structure around the ankle. That is where the bulged portion, or the malleolus, as it is called, bulged part of the at the lower end of the leg bones, which creates that fold of skin where it meets the rest of the foot. That's a very interesting change in plane, and as the foot twists to the right or the left, that fold of skin is enhanced or flattened out. So that is another important feature to note. Again, working on a little with little details to enhance the shape of the hands. The tiny little bulge which indicates the lateral protuberance or the epicondyle of the humerus near the point of the elbow. And then I'll be just adding a background so as to push the figure to the front and make it more visible. I like integrating the figure with the background rather than keeping it suspended in air, because I think the background can play a very important role in focusing viewer attention on the parts of the foreground that you want it to be focused. So it should not be interfering with your or competing for attention with the foreground subject, but it should not be inert either. It should play a supportive role. So that's why I have chosen this sort of semi-neutral, slightly bluish background, which has this effect of pushing the figure forward. So I'm nearly done. In the next remaining part, I'll be working with that defective left shoulder. You see, I have already signed, but I only noticed that defect later on. Here you can see that in this pose the contour of the upper forearm is too close to the midline of the chest, which is sort of crunching up our pose. Now this new contour of the upper arm that I have drawn pushes the arm a little towards the outside and giving her a more relaxed pose, which is in keeping with the general harmony of the entire pose and her expression. A little bit more tinkering around with the hands. You can continue to tinker around forever, but I don't have too much time. As I said that I'll be working further on this face because I do wish to capture that beautiful soft smiling expression Sandhya has in the reference. By the way, my thanks goes to both Sandhya, who is the model here, and to Anil Kumar, J L Anil Kumar, who is my good friend from Bengaluru. That's it. A little patch of white to bring out that smile and indicate the teeth. Who has asked me to make this demo, so my thanks to both of them. Here I have brought out that subtle contour of the sternocleidomastoid that you see on the left half of the neck, that white patch that I just drew, which is softly bulges out. The sternocleidomastoid are the two oblique muscles that extend from the back of the ear to the sternum or breastbone in the midline. So that's what I've drawn just there. Basically, this is the end of the video. Thank you very much for being with me, and I hope you have found it useful. The finished drawing.